The first time Amara saw her, it was at the family introduction. The compound in Ibadan was decorated in gold and wine-colored drapes. Plastic chairs arranged neatly, coolers stacked against the wall, aunties fanning themselves dramatically. Femi stood proudly beside Amara, squeezing her hand lightly. "Relax," he whispered. "They'll love you." And then she walked in, tall, elegant, effortlessly composed, matching Ashebi with the older women, but somehow standing apart from them. Not quite auntie, not quite cousin. Femi smiled when he saw her. Not the polite smile he'd been giving relatives, a different one, soft, familiar. "My sister," he said casually, gesturing. "This is Kemi." Kemi stepped forward and embraced Amara gently. "Welcome to the family," she said warmly. Her voice was smooth, measured. Her hands lingered half a second too long. Femi was stability personified. 38, soft-spoken, accountant, church worker, financially disciplined. He talked about integrity like it was oxygen. "I don't like drama," he would say often. "Peace is everything." Amara believed him. She believed in the way he never raised his voice, in the way he insisted on meeting her parents properly, in the way he sent money home every month without announcing it. He was dependable, which made the discomfort harder to explain. It started small. Kemi knew where everything was in Femi's family home, not like someone visiting, like someone who belonged. She adjusted his collar once before church, not playfully, automatically. At the engagement party, she sat beside him, even when there was empty seats elsewhere. She served him food without asking what he wanted. She already knew. Amara laughed it off. Close siblings, she told herself. But siblings didn't look at each other like that. There was history in their eye contacts, a silent language. One evening, Femi left his phone on the dining table and stepped into the shower. It rang. Amara glanced at the screen. It showed Kemi with a heart shape. Her stomach tightened. Before she could process it, the phone stopped ringing. A message came in. "Have you told her yet?" Amara's breath caught. "Told her what?" When Femi returned, she asked casually, "Your sister called." He didn't blink. "Oh, Kemi? She worries too much." And then he kissed her forehead. Conversation over. 2 weeks before the wedding, Amara decided to surprise him. She had a spare key. He'd insisted she keep one. "For transparency," he said. She drove over in the afternoon, smiling. Maybe they'd order food, watch something, laugh. She opened the door and froze. The scent hit her first. Not perfume, familiarity. Then she saw the shoes near the entrance. Women's slippers, not hers. She walked towards the bedroom, and there she was, Kemi, in pajamas, standing in front of the wardrobe. Femi's wardrobe. The silence was not chaotic, it was heavy. Kemi didn't scream, didn't scramble. She simply looked at Amara with something that wasn't guilt. It was resignation. "You weren't supposed to find out like this," Kemi said softly. Amara felt the world tilt. "What is this?" Her voice came out smaller than she intended. Kemi inhaled slowly. "I'm not his sister." The door behind them opened. Femi stepped in, saw both women, and for the first time since Amara met him, he looked afraid. They sat at the dining table like strangers negotiating a business deal. No raised voices, no broken plates, just truth. Kemi and Femi had undergone a traditional marriage ceremony 7 years ago. Families present, bride price paid, prayers said, but no legal registration, no court certificate. Why? Timing, Femi muttered. The real reason came later. Kemi had not conceived. 7 years, doctors, prayer points, fasting, still nothing. The whispers began. Femi's mother suggested another wife. Just for children, she said gently. Kemi resisted. Femi delayed until he met Amara. Educated, healthy, warm, from a respected family. The solution appeared: marry again, quietly. Rebrand the first wife as sister. Keep peace. Produce children. Maintain reputation. It's common, Femi said weakly. Men do it all the time. Amara stared at him. You were going to marry me without telling me I'm the second wife? Silence. When Amara called off the engagement privately, Femi's mother came to visit. Don't be emotional, she said calmly. You will be the legal wife. That's what matters. Legal wife, like it was a promotion, not deception. And Kemi, Amara asked, she understands her position. Position? Amara felt something inside her shift, not heartbreak, clarity. The church was full, white and gold decorations, choir rehearsing softly, guests adjusting gele, whispers floating. Amara arrived dressed in white lace, graceful, composed, unreadable. Femi stood at the altar, confident again, because he believed silence would protect him. When the pastor asked the traditional question, if anyone here has any reason why these two should not be joined in holy matrimony, there was a pause, longer than usual, and then a chair scraped. Kemi stood up. The room turned. She walked slowly down the aisle. No trembling, no drama, just steady footsteps. She faced the congregation, then the pastor, then Amara. I am already his wife. The words landed like a dropped glass. Gasps, murmurs, phones lifting. Femi's face drained of color. Sit down, he hissed under his breath. But Kemi didn't move. She turned towards the crowd. 7 years ago, our families joined us traditionally. I have been introduced as his sister for this ceremony. The church exploded into whispers. The pastor looked stunned. Amara did not react because this was not a surprise to her. The truth? Amara and Kemi had met the night before in a small cafe. No shouting, no rivalry, just two women comparing notes. Kemi had already filed for divorce. She had quietly gathered proof of traditional marriage. She didn't want the man anymore. She wanted the lie exposed. Not for revenge, but for closure. If he marries you in secret, Kemi told Amara that night, he will hide something else tomorrow. They looked at each other, and in that moment, they stopped being rivals. They became witnesses. The wedding was called off. The church board demanded explanations. Family members argued outside. Videos circulated online within hours. The respected, peaceful Femi rebranded overnight, not as a villain, but as a man exposed. Weeks later, Kemi finalized her divorce. She cut her hair short, started a catering business, smiled differently, not softer, stronger. Amara moved cities, started a new job. When people asked what happened, she would simply say, I refuse to be introduced as someone else's future mistake. And somewhere in Ibadan, a family learned that silence is not always loyalty. Sometimes it's complicity. If you like this video, please stay in touch and we'll see you on the next one.